Hey everybody. I'm in the comfort of my lazy boy, but just wanted to have a little check-in, short video to get the week started. We're talking about decision making, but I want to talk a little bit in retrospect to the mission assignment from last week, and just to kind of let you know how things work in my mind. I'm asking you a lot of questions that are fairly personal in nature in that assignment specifically, but will from this point on, because management and leadership is personal. And I found out that those that lead great businesses, big, small, medium sized, whatever they happen to be, and organizations, um, they just have this passion and they have core values and ethics and things like that. And those are people that typically, if not, I would say 100%, have intentionally implemented some of these things into the process. And and also, if you need to make a change, this may be the time to do it as well. As far as how you want to be perceived, how you perceive yourself is very, very important. So, from the assignments, one thing I would say thank you for getting your assignments in on time. Um, I really enjoy the fact that I'm able to take some of this content and offer it to you ahead of time. I would say that if you want to be an entrepreneur, and ranching and farming is all about being an entrepreneur, if you're late to the game, you don't get to participate. Or your dealings with the activities with your organization, you may stymie the process, the successful process of a great business. An idea that doesn't get off the ground is one which the person in charge just doesn't get to the finish line, doesn't proceed. There is no action. And when we do have action, some of the greatest lessons within that action are the fact that we fail. And I've said this for a long time, and I probably stole it from somebody. Maybe it was Dave Ramsey or whatever. But, businesses are built on a mountain of failures. Now, if you study the process of success and enact that process, it's a 50-50 deal, or probably 90% action, 10% actually study. But if you study that process and then enact it 90%, the 90% of the process, then it gives you the ability to be more successfully, possibly quicker, and that sort of thing. So that's what I want this class to be about. How do I look at, now just to kind of jump a little bit into that, is that I want you to be on it, okay? I'm going to encourage you. I want to say this in a positive way. I encourage you to actually get in, get it done. Our minds work better when things are taken care of. We can work on the next step in the process. So, in the primitive school atmosphere is get the damn assignment done. Don't wait till the last minute. You're not always at your best when the pressure is on. Some of us can be better under heightened tensions than others, because that's a practice skill as well. But I want you to deal with those things that we have to deal with at the last minute, rather than the things that we can take care of when they can be taken care of. So here's what I look at, okay? First of all, I want you, I'm kind of taking a passive poll in this way, is when I ask you to post a forum, okay, first thing is that's your interaction with the other students in this class, more than even me. Okay, so I'd like you to do it. I'm asking you to do it, and I'm going to give you some points for doing it. Okay, I would like you, just for the benefit of your classmates, to just reply to my post. Okay, if you would do that, I would really appreciate it, because then your classmates don't have to open up each one of the posts to see what you have posted. You're going to learn from them as much as you do from me. And it gives you a different perspective. I'm not asking you to copy their work. In fact, I want you to do your own work. I'm asking very personal questions within these forums typically. So I just want to give you the perspective of others. And that it may change your answer, but it's not a copied answer. And then to get it done early. Get it out of the way so that you can come back to a forum, for instance, and take a look at what your peers are posting on that. Okay? The assignment that I had you do is basically to take some notes, listen to some videos, take some notes, write them down, and to organize them. Okay? And that's one skill that I found that most students don't have in this day and age. Some do. I'm not saying that you don't specifically, but I'm trying to get you to practice that skill of actually listening to something and then deciphering, and also to jot down some things to ask you some questions about what you've just heard. So in that regard, I want you to answer those questions in a real personal way. I shouldn't have any copying going on in there, because I'm asking, for the most part, some of it's a little bit of regurgitation, but most of it is like, okay, you heard this. Now, what's your mission statement? What do you think about this? Have you ever had this happen in an organization you've been involved in? Explain. Okay, so there's no way you can actually copy that sort of thing. The other side of that is that when you give me a truthful answer to your situation, you're going to be awarded most, if not all, the points that are involved in that assignment. Okay, just the facts of it. I know there's those super students, and I've got a bunch of them in here that are always so wrapped up in the detail of a grade, of an A, that I'm not putting you down, by the way, but the fact that you're going to get your points if you just actually give an honest answer from your perspective in this class. Most classes don't ask these kind of questions, I would have to say. Our school system fails us in a lot of ways in the fact that they just have us regurgitate what the teacher has said as fact, and I'm not so much interested in that. So I mean, you can disagree with me all you want in this class, and I actually encourage that and enjoy that. So because we're going to talk about some things that may be somewhat controversial in some of your lives. So anyway, we're going to talk about decision making getting into this week. And I'm just giving you a different perspective. And one of the things I've learned over many, many years of business is the fact that if you take it apart into the pieces of what a real decision is that we can get better at it. We're not going to be great if we're just starting out. Many of you have, you're a little bit older, you have families, you've had business experience, you've been involved in lots of different organizations, you've seen good, bad, and indifferent decision-making processes. But if you will intentionally break down the parts, we can actually get better at And that's my hope for you. So kind of take this lesson with a little grain of salt. I appreciate, so one of my students in this class actually said in their assignment that the mission statement, they said, well, this will be easy, basically, is what they stated. But the questions that were asked in the study guide, it was kind of hard. So I actually take that as a positive response. And because I want you to dig a little bit within this whole thing. You could probably get a pretty good grade and not have to, but that's not what we're talking about here. If you want to be a leader, if you're not, if you a successful one and continue and have it perpetually part of your organization, then I want you to look at it. We're going to look at some things that maybe you thought were off the radar as far as things that maybe you ought to think about as a leader of people. So anyway, that's what management's about.